Ken Honda is a best-selling author who has written over 50 books on personal finance and sold over 7 million copies worldwide. He went from noticing the difference between happy money and unhappy money even as a child working in his father's accounting practice to making millions of dollars and being able to retire when he was only 29 years old. Need motivation?
Watch Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 for my top 10, top 10, 9. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more. And you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Ken Honda, and my take on his top 10 rules to success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, change your language.
I think most of us, the biggest problem, I think, especially today, is that we are so afraid of money. And so as much as we want money, we are so scared of it. So
why do you say that? I think that hit me as very counterintuitive. Why do you think people are scared of money?
It's because of a money trauma. I call it money wounds that we've had since our childhood. We used to have some, unless your parents are perfect, and unfortunately it's not the case in any culture. So we've been scolded about money. You know, we spent too much, we wasted the money, or we denied karate lesson or soccer lesson or ballet lesson or piano lessons because it's expensive. Some of my friends were taught, you are not worth it. That's a big blow. So we've been denied so many times around money. So that's why as much as we want money, because we feel money can buy happiness, or money can buy at least freedom. But at the same time, money have been abused us for so many ways. So as much as we want to get close to it, but if we get too close to it, we get burns or like hurt. So for a lot of people, money is a mystery person.
So how do they begin to change that relationship? I'm assuming some of this is going to be just narrative around how they talk to themselves about money. What do you advise people?
You have to start watching your language. My mother used to say that. And then around money especially, a lot of people say like, I was ripped off. So there are so many negative language around money. And my mentor Wahe said, you have to use positive words around money. Otherwise, money will not like you. And I thought it's very cute, And then in my book, I talk about what if money were a person, who would it be like? Is that person a gentle person or angry person? So just, you have to pay attention to how you relate to money. If you just feel like money is just a thing, like you don't care, but if you don't care, you end up being in debt. So you have to be very careful and respectful for money.
Rule number 2, develop money EQ.
What I found out is that people want to learn about money IQ, which is about financial intelligence. It's about investing, how to buy stocks, and how to trade, and all the other things. But what I found out is that money EQ is more important than money IQ. Money EQ is emotional intelligence about money, how healthy you feel with money. A healthy relationship is that when you feel happy about money, your money EQ is high. When you constantly worry about money and you have fear on money, your money EQ is low. And the highest money IQ people with all the MBAs and all the doctorate degree, they are good at investing and they're super good with business. But these high money IQ people often lose everything because of low money EQ. Even though you built a high tower with money IQ, the foundation is shaky, it's gonna fall. So money EQ is a foundation of life. For example, if you get a $500 raise, which is great, but can you keep the money? Probably you will celebrate your raise and spend it all. And then if you get a $2,000 raise, which is great, probably you're going to move to a better and bigger house, and then you're going to probably buy a bigger car, and more expenses go up. So even though you get a raise, you make more money, your expenses also are trying to match your income, so you have no money at the end of the month anyway. I have known many CEOs who are making a few $100,000 a year, but still they cannot keep any money left because their lifestyle consumes all the money. So unless you learn about money EQ and how the solid foundation, you'll never be able to feel peace with money, and you'll never be able to achieve true financial independence.
Rule number 3, focus on what you give.
I had this opportunity to meet my mentor later on. His name is Wahei Takeda. So when I asked him to teach about money, he said his first lesson is forget about money. So I was so confused.
Yeah, one of the things that I found super confusing, and people, where I was going is the notion of a Zen koan. And this is something that people probably in the US anyway be tangentially familiar with. Mm-hmm. The most famous one we talk about is what is the sound of one hand clapping? Mm. And there are many Zen koans which are like beyond confusing. And of course, the idea is once you understand sort of the absurdity of the question itself, and of course, I'm doing this from a logical perspective, and Zen is, I think, meant to be very different than that. But just to give people an anchor point, once you understand the absurdity of the question, then it's like you're a step closer to enlightenment. So when he said forget about money, what was he trying to get you to? Like, what does that mean? Because obviously it's not truly forget that it exists.
Yes.
So what does he mean?
So I think he meant about where I focus. Because if you want money, you have to forget about money. You have to forget about what you can give to other people, how much service you can give out to the world, and then you receive money. So he was telling me not to focus on money because money is the end result of what we get after serving the world. So instead of focusing on what you get, you have to really focus on what you give. And our life is in the middle of giving and receiving. So unless we receive well, unless we give well, we can receive. So we are in this cycle of appreciation or resentment. Either cycle you're in, your life exists. So if you start appreciating your life about everything, including money, your life will be filled with money and appreciation. If your life will be filled with resentment, anger, and fear around money and also around life, your life will be also surrounded by fear and resentment and anxiety.
Rule number 4, be thankful.
Treat money with respect. And whenever we receive money, that's a miracle because somebody chose you as a client or a person to work for. So you can appreciate your boss, your clients, or the company you're working for to making a miracle and just pay you the money. So you can feel, thank you. And then, bless the money in a most beautiful way.
Also, if you want to have more self-love and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
I don't cheat on my wife. I don't cheat on my customers. I don't cheat people. I don't cut corners. If I can't do something, I'll tell you up front. If I screw up, I'll tell you.
After you practice martial art, you develop this natural self-confidence. Not cockiness, but you develop this natural self-confidence.
Brendan, you want to be a writer? You can't write.
Rule number 5, have a positive attitude.
I used to serve a cup of tea for my father's clients when I was 9 or 10. I really enjoyed it because I just annoy them with all those professional questions like, what's your ROE, or how are you making profit in your company, sir? And they're like, they feel so intimidated. So I really enjoy giving them very difficult questions. And since then, I've seen some entrepreneurs do well, and some entrepreneurs do not so good. Even if they're the same age, same educational background, their financial outcome is so different. And I realized that certain people have gifts around making money, and others have this blocks and unwillingness to do business. So your attitude toward money is either positive or negative. So positive people tend to attract more money, and whereas negative, if you have a negative attitude around money, you tend to lose it. You have a hard time keeping it because you feel deep inside, if money is bad, you don't want any bad thing in your house. So I always often talk about it as a joke. Just imagine money as a monster or pet in your house. Is that like a Pokemon fun pet in your house? Or it becomes a monster that could eat you up, your parents or your kids. If you think money is scary, you don't want a scary thing in your house. And so if you have a positive attitude around money, you'll be very good at making money. And if you have somewhat negative attitude toward money, you want to keep some distance. That's why some people are very good at attracting money. Other people are like, oh, I'm okay with enough. If as long as I can pay all the bills, I'm fine. Well, as long as I'm on survival mode, but still I can survive, I'm okay. So it's up to you how comfortable you feel around money and business.
Rule number 6, redefine wealth.
In my mind, wealth is an emotion. It doesn't really matter how much you have, how much you make. Because I've interviewed over the course of my career, I've interviewed many millionaires and billionaires, and some of them are very unhappy and very upset with everything. I'm sure you've met some happy ones and very unhappy ones. So, and also among the people who are struggling with life, there are also happy people and unhappy people. So I think wealth is an attitude. If you feel like you're so happy and so content with what you have, you are already wealthy. But if you have if you have to struggle every day and you cannot find happiness either in your business or in personal life, I think you're not wealthy, even if you have billions in your bank account. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to have money.
Rule number 7, open up.
What I find about money is that the questions are universal. If I go to China, Europe, North America, Japan, all the questions are very similar. And most of us have a hard time receiving money because we feel somewhat unworthy of ourselves. So when money was offered to us, even though it's a legitimate work, we render service or do work, but we still feel shy when it comes to receiving money. So in a way, we are super good at giving, but we are lousy at receiving. So receiving is the first rule of money EQ. And if you have a hard time receiving money, think of the other way around. When we try to give something and the other part, your friend or whoever that is, say, no, I can't accept that. You feel kind of funny, like I want you to receive it, because receiving is the other end of cycle of giving. So unless you receive, somebody cannot give. So you're receiving for the giver too. So if you understand this cycle of appreciation of both receiving and giving, you have to end the cycle of this giving and receiving by being a receiver side. So you may feel a little funny or strange or blocks at the time. You take one more step and just with a smile, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, I accept that. If you open your heart and accept financial reward or smile or appreciation, whatever that is, if you are willing to open up to new possibility, you complete the cycle. So be willing to do that for the giver, because if you graciously accept the money, they feel great too. They feel the joy of giving. So just imagine this, by receiving beautifully, you give the giver the joy of giving. So just a little practice, and it takes a lot of courage, a lot of openness on your side to do. But once you're open and start receiving, you realize that how much money, friendship, and care and support you haven't been able to receive. And then you feel like, wow, all the things I didn't receive were there. And then you'll be surprised. The cycle of receiving and giving will accelerate in your life.
Rule number 8, appreciate and let go.
A lot of time we write checks with resentment. Oh, I have to, give this person or give the company or write taxes, pay taxes. Ooh. But instead, we can appreciate when we pay some money, because in exchange for the money, we got something, either services or goods. So in exchange, we can appreciate and let go of the money. And Wahed taught me the mantra. So money, money, money. Go out, bless the world, and come back with your friends.
Rule number 9, find your gifts.
There's nothing to do with the level of income you can gain, and also with your physical condition. Unless your work is a manually labor-related thing, these days most of the work are on computers, or even if you're on wheelchair, you're physically, if you have a physical handicap, your ability of making money doesn't get influenced. So I suggest you start assessing your life. There must be something you're good at, that you like, or you find joy. And if you find some gifts that you're good at something, and you have to focus on that and improve your skills and gifts. For example, if you're good at making crafts, that's one way of making more money. If you're good at making a web page, that's also another income source. And if you're good at writing, you could make a nice, beautiful tagline for companies. Or if you're good at helping people, you can do that online. And so there are so many things you can do online. The key is that you create, or you can come up with many different ideas.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is find mentors.
The reason why you're in credit card debt is you didn't have enough knowledge. Probably you didn't have the right mentors or teachers around money. So I want you to know more about money, so that way you can get out of the debt and start saving enough money, and someday, very soon, you find your financial independence in your future.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video? And write down in the comments below when you're going to take action on that takeaway this week. When you schedule in what day, what time, and what place you're going to take action, you have a 91% chance of actually following through, compared to just 35% if you just got motivated but never created a plan. And when you share your plan and have accountability, you give yourself an even higher chance of following through. So in the comments below, write down your single biggest takeaway as well as your specific plan of action, because I want to celebrate with you.
Happy money is money that makes you smile when you receive it and gives you joy when you spend it. Just imagine like a 10-year-old boy buys a rose for his Mother's Day with his allowance and give it to his mom and say, "Mom, thank you so much. I love you." That is happy money. And all the money that we donate to the charity or the people who lost their homes. And I really appreciate American people for sending us a lot of money and a lot of mineral water and food after the earthquake about 8 years ago. We were so touched by the generosity of Americans. They were the first to arrive to the earthquake place, and then they helped us so much. So that is happy money too. So all the money spent and dealt with love, friendship, and care, that's happy money. You know it, because when you receive happy money, that touches your heart and says, thank you. So it could be a grandparents giving you money, or your friend, or a stranger. But as long as it's given out of love, that's happy money.
To change your life for free in 30 days, check the link right here below me. Or if you want 50 rules from Robert Kiyosaki, click the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy them. Continue to believe, and I'll see you soon.